Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome again to Mr. Parker's Neighborhood. I am Mr. Parker, and today I have with me Mr. Brandon Harvey. Hello, sir. How are you?
Man, well, look, I'm quite spectacular. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, sir. Now, before we get started, sir, we want to do a little game here with the viewers. I'm going to have them try to guess what it is that Brandon Harvey does. So here we go. Is Brandon Harvey A bodybuilder, B, a fitness trainer, C, an entrepreneur, D, a songwriter, or E, two of the above? All right, time's up. Y'all blew it again. Don't worry about it. Now, let's switch. We've done the poppers. Let's switch. My brother B, what's up, baby?
What up, Blueface?
You know. Hey, all right. Now, answer the question for the people. What is it that Brandon Harvey does? Wait, hold on. Let's cut to Brandon Harvey. What's up, Bo? What you do, man? Talk to him.
What's popping? What's popping, man? All of the above, I guess, depending on how you twist it. I train myself. I'm a personal trainer for my personal life.
That's true.
Bodybuilding, yeah, we let that go a long time ago. But absolutely, man. Entrepreneur, musician, songwriter, producer, drummer, all of the above, man. I just try to live my purpose, you know what I'm saying? And my purpose, which I understand, is music and entertainment, man. So we're going full throttle, all gas, no brakes. That's what we're doing.
Well, look, we're going to pump the brakes a little bit because we're going to build this momentum up and roll on where we're going. So now tell the people where you're from originally and a little bit about how you got going.
Oh, that's the one and only St. Louis, Missouri, baby, the gateway city. Man, St. Louis is everything to me because that's where everything started. St. Louis is where I got into sports. St. Louis is where I got into music. St. Louis is where I went to the school of hard knocks. You know what I mean? St. Louis really gave me all the tools that I needed to be able to succeed in this global economy. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Hazelwood Central. That's my high school.
I'll let you do that right now. I'll let you do that one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I knew you was gonna throw something in there.
Hey, hey, I had Mario Johnson on here, and he's like, yeah, Hazelwood Central. Yeah, view time. We ain't got time to play with y'all. Go ahead. But anyway, continue.
Hey, gotta say it, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, St. Louis, that's my stomping grounds right there.
Yeah, man. Like you said, coming through, I mean, we had Risha on here the other day, Archibald, and she talked about Hazelwood Central too. I said, I'm gonna let y'all do this. But again.
Well, obviously you love us. Apparently, and
that's my Risha too. Y'all family, baby. That's how it roll. Hey, everybody. Hey, look, ain't nobody in the family the exact same. You got brothers and sisters who were from a different marriage. Y'all became family. Hey, it's a combined family, baby.
Same thing, baby. Same thing. Indeed.
But like I said, so it's starting off when you were younger. Sports was first, and then music, or did music and sports come at the same time?
Oh man, it was kind of both, but I will say as a kid, it was all about sports. I was playing basketball and I was doing that year round. Like I played for a select basketball team. So it was winter, getting ready for the summer, and then finish the summer, going back to the winter, getting ready for the summer again. But at the same time, my dad grew up a musician. He plays saxophone and he sings. So music was always around. My oldest brother, for all my St. Louis people, that's back when Mount Gideon used to be popping. He played organ, he played keyboards, he played drums, and that was my first teacher. So that was my introduction, like as a kid. I was maybe about 5 or 6 playing drums, but my focus was really on sports. And that was up until I got into high school, ended up breaking my foot. So that set me down and put me in the boot for a little while. And then I just really got focused and locked in on music and off to the races from there.
Yeah, and I remember when you playing, like I say, playing football at in high school, and like I said, when you broke your foot, all of a sudden it was like, okay, who back there in the drums with Preston? Who was that? I said, when the beat start playing drums like that, and then it was like, hey, your focus kicked in on that because, like at the point in time too, we were doing the step team stuff, and you never came out. I'm like, why? I said, okay. But I said, like you said, dealing with the foot stuff and then the music piece, because you were playing gigs at a young age too, weren't you?
Yeah, I was probably in some venues that I probably shouldn't have been in. But you know, speaking of, you brought up Preston, man. Shalom was a great growing tool for me as well. Like sitting up under Preston Williams, shout out to Preston. And then sitting up under CJ Walker as well. And both of those guys were just two good human beings on top of it. So I learned a lot from them musically. And then also just about being a solid, upstanding individual and a strong male. I definitely learned that from him as well. And then, you know, sitting up under Dello Thetford and Chris Watkins. Chris Watkins was there doing my stint while I was there as well. And that list goes on. I learned from everybody. Kevin Mansco, Ron, shout out to everybody. But just as a youngin, you know, I was able to soak in so much that definitely helped me. And yeah, I didn't show up to the step team, man, because I believe I might have been at the tail end of high school and going into college when the step team and stuff came around.
Right.
Like I was busy, man. I was a busy kid, man.
And like I said, so I say when you finish up high school, you go off to college. And you end up going to Southeast Missouri State.
Yep, SEMO.
Okay, now what made you decide to go there compared to anywhere else?
Well, first part was there was a scholarship given. That was a little bit enticing. And then I don't know, it just felt right. It felt right at that time. You know, I don't have any regrets about college because we had my college experience was amazing, you know, and that's where I joined Phi Beta Sigma and just that community, you know what I'm saying? It was great. It felt like we had a HBCU type atmosphere in our own little circle. So there's a part of me that said, man, I wish I would have went to an HBCU, but on the other side of that, SEMO was perfect, man. It was perfect.
And I mean, like you said, in doing the whole college year piece, is the fact that when I got wind that you were pledging, you were coming over through the burning sands by then. It's like, wait a minute, B never said that. You are Superman. Judge, I never said nothing. These cats been here, ain't said a word, they snuck in. Hey, what's going on? Left out, come back wearing the blue and white. I said, check these.
But you know, it was a little different. We couldn't really talk about a lot. We had to keep a lot on the hush hush.
But I mean, man, I'm just so glad when y'all came through, boy. And then you know, everybody's like, so you made them play a Sigma. I didn't even know they was gonna play it. No, I didn't make nobody play it. I said, I can't help it. They chose the right one and didn't choose y'all stuff. It's okay.
The blue and white, baby. You can't get no better than that. You know it.
So now in college, did you you continue playing? So you got a scholarship. You continue playing in the band, or what was the deal with that in college?
College, man, it was everything. So basically, I played in every single ensemble. SEMO was kind of more a classical driven school. Okay. So there was wind symphony, there was orchestra, percussion ensemble, big band, you know, jazz band. It was everything. So I was on top of my school load, on top of Phi Beta Sigma things. I was playing with every ensemble, man. So it was crazy. It was overwhelming. But again, it gave me the tools that I needed for the next part of the journey, which I didn't even know what that was going to be at that time. But I was getting built up. So SEMO was a great impression on all the things I'm able to do now.
Yeah, like you said, and that's a key element to where being well-rounded to where you can play any kind of music and not worry about what you, because you heard it. You being in the classical, being in the tradition, being in jazz, it's the fact that kids nowadays are so focused on one area to where they don't gain the whole experience. And I mean, as a musician, you got to be open. Because I said, and I went to SEMO back in the days of band camp. SEMO was my first band camp, man, and it was crazy because I hadn't been exposed to that kind of one discipline, and two, the variations of people to where, oh man, I met so many cats from Hazelwood Central again, Hazelwood East, and we got a bond because it wasn't that many Black students in the 80s going to a band camp in Southeast Missouri State. So we had to come together because like, hey, yeah, all right. And then
that's when you get that nod.
Right.
Yeah.
and then learning the true aspects of what society, because it was a bunch of people there who thought that we shouldn't be there, thought that we couldn't hang with that, but then we got to playing them instruments, man. It was like, oh snap, y'all deserve. I mean, because it was myself, a brother named D, we call it, and a brother named Fred. Fred played saxophone, I played trumpet, and D was in percussions. And D, man, this dude, he was older than us, so it was like, hey, come here, let me tell y'all something. This is what we do, yada yada yada. And then when people came around, he was like, hey, how you guys doing? Yada yada yada. They leave. All right, look, we like, what the hell? What are you doing? Come on. I gotta speak both languages when you're up in here. So college for me was a true learning experience. For you, was it a point of where you realized that what you had learned back in St. Louis in high school, it's a different ball game. We got to switch some things up here.
Absolutely. A little bit. I definitely understood how heavy my tool bag was, and I had to look into it and say, oh, I already got this tool. Boom, be able to just pull it out. But at the same time, I was able to always just be me. I didn't really have to switch up too much because my attitude has always been like, either you gonna roll with it or you ain't, you know what I'm saying? So it was good though. It was good to be open, and like you said, to be around. For me, it was even different cultures and things like that, and to be able to rub off on them and get a little bit of that and put that in my bag too. So it was challenging, but again, I was able to add to everything that I already had on my list of ingredients. You know what I'm saying? So it was a blessing for sure.
All right, let's end this college trip with. So online, what number were you? I just want to know what number.
Oh, come on, baby, Ace Club. Come on now. Ace Club, come on now.
That's why you and me, baby. Ace Club is
born leader, baby. Trailblazer. They call me that for a reason.
What both doing then after graduation?
I graduated and I went straight to teaching. So I have 2 degrees. I have a bachelor's in music education and I have a master's of arts. So I went straight into the education system in Hazelwood School District. I taught at a middle school in Hazelwood, teaching music, and I was on the path to moving into administration. Okay. I mean, so deep to the point that even while being a teacher, a lot of the students at the school, they thought I was a principal. Wow. Because I was stepping into those roles. Okay. Now, at the same time, I was playing full time as a musician too. So I'm leaving work, I'm going to studio sessions, I'm going to gigs, I'm going to rehearsals. and there was no sleep. Sleep, sleep just didn't exist, you know? And it got to a point to where I was like, okay, I gotta make a decision. Either I'm gonna teach or I'm gonna perform and I'm gonna play and I'm gonna tour and I'm gonna do all of that I love to do. I love to do both, but I gotta make a decision of which one I'm going to do, or so I'm gonna kill myself. And I decided that I was gonna tour. And I knew at that point I was gonna do that. I had to put myself in the position to be around where the industry lives.
Yeah.
And for me, that was either gonna be New York or Los Angeles. And I decided to take a trip. I said, I'm gonna go to LA, I'm gonna stay for 2 weeks, I'm gonna go to New York, and I'm gonna stay for 2 weeks, and I'm gonna decide which one is gonna be. I went to LA first, and I stayed for 2 weeks, and a lot of things happened in that 2 week span that it was like God just pointing his finger in my chest and saying, like, this is it. This is it. Like, 2 specific encounters that just told me that that's where I was supposed to be. Just allowing me to say, you know what, this is it. I never even made it to New York. I just moved to LA.
Now, because I remember before you left, we had a conversation. It was like, yeah, I said, what's up? I'm just coming to say bye to everybody because I'm finna get up out of here. Like, where you going? I'm going to LA for a minute. I said, okay, so you got a gig that up? Okay,
Nope.
just going to check it out, see what's what. I gotta find how I'm gonna fall. All right, man, holla at you. All of a sudden, boom. All right, well, boom. You know, Brandon gone. I said, where he going? He going to LA? I thought he visited. No, he there now. He say he's staying, and it's like, okay. Then all of a sudden, I don't know how much. It wasn't long after that you put something out talking about this the new band I'm rolling with. So I mean, you got there and kicked in. I mean, with a quickness. So how did the band piece run through, and you kept rolling?
Man, well, like I said, 2 specific things happened during my visit to LA. This is prior to me moving. One of those, I'll tell this story. So there was this spot called the 77 Lounge, and it was the hot spot for, like Sunday nights where all the musicians go kick it. It's the hang spot. You sit in, you play, you laugh, you drink, you kick it, whatever, have a good time. But that's where you go and you bump elbows and you network. So I went to 77, D flat major, another St. Louisan who lives out that way in LA. He told me, yo, this is where you need to go. I showed up, I walked in, there was a guy singing, killing. I mean, like vocally, this cat was just out the box, amazing. So I go to the bar, I order me a drink, I'm minding my own business. The band, they end up taking a break. The same guy that was singing walks over, stands next to me at the bar, and he orders him a drink. We haven't even said a word to each other, right? After about 3 or 4 minutes of just standing there, minding our own business, music is loud, you know what I mean? It's that type of vibe. And he just looks at me and he says, for some reason, God is telling me to tell you to stop being afraid, and this is where you're supposed to be.
Wow. So
stop running from it. This is it. And so now I'm from St. Louis. I don't know this dude. It was so on point that it gave me goosebumps to the point to where I'm thinking like, okay, do I embrace this or do I hit this dude? Because I don't even know you. You know what I'm saying? And after saying that to me, then he says, so what is it that you do? I'm like, okay, well, I'm a drummer, I produce, yada, yada, yada. And he was like, okay, take my number and you're going to end up moving here, because that was just so profound to me for me to say that to you. I forgot to put that on me. So take my number, and when you move, call me and we'll end up working together. So I took his number down. That was in November of 2014. I think it was May of 2015 that I was moving, and I hit him up, said, yo, I'm in town. He hit me back. just gave me a list of dates. And the first gig that we did together, there was no rehearsal. It was a big, huge party that they do annually in what they call the IE, the Riverside in California. I mean, it's like 2,000 people, no rehearsal. We do a show. The band that I put together for that show, some of those guys I hadn't even met. I just kind of got word of mouth, got their phone numbers. But the show was so incredible, I couldn't go to sleep that night, man. So I was like, the energy, it sounded like we rehearsed. It sounded like we spent 2 months rehearsing for this show. And I couldn't even go to sleep. So the next day I hit up all the guys. I said, yo, we gotta have a meeting. I met them at I think it was like a bread co or something like that. What we know as Panera, right. Or St. Louis bread company. It was a Panera, and I put out the vision to those guys, and they was all with it. So that's where the band came in, Sanctuary.
Yeah, Sanctuary. Yeah, man, and y'all ran for a couple of years with that one, didn't you?
Absolutely, man, absolutely. So the way that we put it together was, it was just a piece, and I was able to contract us out to different artists who were coming through town, or who just whatever they had going on, they needed a band, they would hit us up. And we got a chance to play with a lot of dope people. Melanie Fiona, Shanice, Christopher Williams, a lot of people, man. The list just goes on and on and on.
So now on this, so you got the band rolling, you're making the journey. Now, as far as the next step for you, when did you decide, okay, the band thing is cool, but I got to step up to a different piece of the puzzle?
Well, it wasn't really a decision. It kind of just happened on its own. Eventually, everybody just started getting so busy. You know, things will come up, and Hubie will be out of the country. Clifton will be out of the country. Clifton is the music director for Babyface.
Okay.
So that schedule was crazy. So, or things will come up, and I might be out of the country. So I had to find ways just to keep it going. And you know, our careers just kind of went like this. You know what I mean? So those all my guys, but it just kind of happened that way. But we wrote a lot of music together. We wrote a lot of good music together. Some songs that we were able to sell to other artists. Some songs that we have in the tank. I'm actually putting one of those songs on my record that I'm working on. It's going to come out next year. So it's like the seeds were planted and they did what they were supposed to do. They blossomed to be the flowers they needed to be, and the world is going to be able to see those flowers at some point.
Oh man, that's good stuff. See, and again, in being that flexible and having that foundation, it allows you to say, all right, look, I understand, because you just said it. Doing and being who you were opened doors to where you didn't say we did gigs in different cities. You said out the country. So I mean, you moved from being the St. Louis local cat to the California local cat to, yeah, I'm going to England next week. I see y'all when I get back. I'm going to China for some. So as far as that experience as a young musician, how was that to where you getting tickets and saying, hey, I need you in London tomorrow?
Man, you know what? It's really all about believing in yourself. It's about believing in yourself. And I love to use the word purpose, because we all have a purpose. And it's just a choice whether you choose to walk in that purpose or not. You know what I mean? You love talking to people. You're very good at, you know, bringing people into a circle. You're good with media. You're good with cameras, and you're living your purpose. It shows when you walk into a room. It shows because you're living your purpose. So for me, it felt good. It felt rewarding to be able to be in those rooms, be on those stages, be on those planes, to do all of that. So it felt good, but at the same time, it was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is right. You know what I mean? And it just took faith. It just took faith to go out and to jump. Right. You know what I mean? And to finally find yourself landing where you're supposed to be landing. And the thing about that is, once you land in that spot, you got to keep jumping. You just got to keep going, keep going, keep going. And that's in a nutshell, that's kind of where I am at this point. It's just, I'm jumping again. I'm jumping.
And man, like I say, thank you for what you said. And it's the truth that, like you said, when you enter a room, you know, one, if this is, first of all, where I want to be. Secondly, if I'm supposed to be here. Because like I said, you go into a room and you're like, yeah, okay, my boys up in here, and you get to like, wait a minute. Let me show my face and say what's happening. Then
retreat.
And I mean, it's just the fact of I guess that could be considered having that discernment to where you can feel whether or not it's the right place. Like you said, it's different. People don't understand in the entertainment situation and even the music music situations. When you in certain places, man, you feel that vibe of, yeah, this is good. Yeah, no, this ain't a good spot for me. So I mean, as far as traveling and doing what you're doing, have there been times where you was like, I gotta get up out of here?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, the industry it's a crazy thing. It's a crazy thing. And the deeper you get into it, the more you see how a lot of people move, you know. So you just have to try to maintain your individual personality. And you gotta stick to your roots. You kind of gotta go into this thing with rules of what you're not gonna do. And then you know what you're going to do at the same time. So I've definitely been in positions where I had to decide that, okay, this ain't it, this ain't for me. Good seeing y'all, but I'm out.
You know, and quiet as it's kept, in pledging the way we went through a system and situations, you are taught to not only watch what's going on, but to listen to what's happening. Because, you know, back in the day, hey, you be in a room and all of a sudden the room has changed to where everybody that was on the right side is on the left side, and you like, something ain't right. All right, let's switch this on up because we got to get back to back to get up out of here. And I mean, those are some of the things that people don't understand with fraternal order, as far as us doing stuff. Why y'all do that? Why y'all do that? It's a craziness behind it. But like when they used to tell us what, don't walk on the grass because that's a shortcut. So it's like you were like, this is stupid, but you're learning that there are no shortcuts in life. To get to where you want to go, to make it stand out, you got to follow the path, because you follow the path, you can't go wrong, because it's the path, you know where the path is leading. But you cut across the grass, you're allowed to get anything. And it's like, wow, it took me getting out of that, saying this is some stupid stuff, to saying, man, I had a path.
Well, and then it's levels to that too. You know, at first it's don't walk on the grass, and you always trying to figure out, okay, don't walk on the grass. What's the quickest route? Blah blah blah. And then you get to a point where you like, ain't nobody looking at me. Let me cut across this grass. And that's life. That's life. You gotta know how to play the game. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's a yin and a yang.